This is my wife Sasha, and this is my ex-wife Rebecca. And for the last year and a half, all three of us, plus our three daughters, have been living together right here under this roof. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. How on earth does that work? You are probably also thinking we're completely nuts. And honestly, some days would agree with you. Although this was a snap decision, and it sure wasn't our plan. It all started with an early morning phone call that changed everything. It forced us to choose between what's considered normal and what was best for the stability of our three children, Kaylee, Janelle, and Ajani. People think we're crazy, but what they don't see is the effort, the endless conversations, and the unique power of family we've built. In this video, we are going to tell you the whole story, not the highlight reel, but the real messy, complicated truth of how we went from a divorced couple living separate lives to this, our unconventional, sometimes chaotic, but totally successful blended family. We are going to break down how we actually do it, from the finances and house rules to the emotional gymnastics required from all three of us. So, if you have ever wondered what it's really like to live with your ex, stick around. This is our story. To really get how we ended up here, you have to understand what life was like before. Becca and I were married for 14 years. We had a good marriage for a very long time. We built a life, had our amazing daughter Kitty, and for the most part, we were happy. Like a lot of couples, we just grew apart. The reasons are complicated and personal, but it boiled down to a simple, painful truth. We were much better friends than we were husband and wife. The divorce was heartbreaking, like all divorces are, but we were determined to keep it as friendly as possible for Kaylee, amicably. We kept telling ourselves we might not be married anymore, but we are a family forever. After things settled down, we got into a co parenting rhythm. I had Kaylee every other weekend, and then eventually it became every weekend. We had texts about school, doctor's appointments, and what art supplies she needed. It was fine, but it was also disconnected. It felt like we were running two separate companies and Kaylee was our joint venture. There was this constant back and forth of backpacks and forgotten jackets that just felt our daughter feeling off balance. A couple of years later, I met Sasha. Sasha is just incredible, patient, kind, and so understanding. She came into the relationship with her two wonderful daughters, Janelle and Ajane. We are from St. Lucia. When I told her about my whole situation with my American ex-wife, she didn't even blink. She embraced it, and more importantly, she embraced Kaylee. Our relationship grew, and pretty soon we were building our own life together in this house. We were so happy, creating our own traditions and routines. Meanwhile, Rebecca was doing her best. She's a fantastic mom, but she was juggling a demanding job and running a household all by herself. The cost of living around here is insane, and being a single parent is a relentless uphill battle. Kelly would say things like, "Mom seems stressed out all the time." We helped where we could, but there was always this formal distance that comes with being exes. We were two separate islands connected by the kid exchange ferry. We were co-parenting, but we weren't a team, not in the way that truly mattered. We were getting by, but we were thriving. That was our before. Stable but very, very fragile. The moment that shattered, that fragile stability came out of nowhere. I got a call from Rebecca early on a Tuesday morning. I could hear the panic in her voice right away. Her apartment complex had a severe rat infestation, and her unit had become completely unlivable. The good news was, because of the conditions, she was able to legally break her lease. The bad news was, she and Kaylee had to leave immediately. Suddenly, she was in an impossible situation. They started living out of hotels, which, as you can imagine, became incredibly expensive. Fast. The thought of uprooting Kaylee from her life was crushing for us both. Could she move in with her parents? No. Her parents are deceased. A cheaper apartment further out? Maybe. But that would mean pulling Kaylee away from her school and her friends. Every single solution felt like a step backward for our daughter. That's when I knew I had to do something. I sat down with Sasha, my amazing newlywed wife. I explained the whole situation, and then I just asked her, what would you think about Rebecca and Kaylee coming to live with us? I was basically holding my breath, but Sasha didn't even hesitate. She just said yes. Now, the idea might still sound radical, but what you have to understand is that my wife and my ex wife already knew each other. In fact, Rebecca was a witness at our wedding. So while this was a huge step, it wasn't a step taken with a stranger. It was a solution we came to not for our own convenience, but out of absolute necessity for our kids. Making the decision was one thing. Actually, making it work, that was a whole different ballgame. It meant we had to tear down everything we thought we knew about family and rebuild it from scratch with no instruction manual. We knew we had to be patient and do this right. Before a single box was moved, we knew we had to be clear on how this would function. There were no big formal family meetings. It's more about constant open communication. Having known Rebecca for over 14 years, I knew how to talk to her and work through things without any fights. So I just communicate to her and Kaylee what needed to be done or worked on to keep the household running smoothly. We agreed that my relationship with Sasha was primary romantic relationship in the house. Rebecca's role was clear: co-parent and roommate, a respected member of the home, but not a third partner in our relationship. Defining that was critical. It helped that their personalities are very different. Sasha is very quiet, while Rebecca is more bold. So they have their own space in the social dynamic of the house. The stepmom role is tricky. Sasha wasn't there to replace Rebecca, but to be another loving adult for Kaylee, just as Rebecca would be a loving adult for Janelle and Ajani. Then came the actual logistics of it all. How do three adults and three children share one house without losing their minds? It's a little cramped, but we manage. Rebecca and Kaylee shares one bedroom, and my two stepdaughters, Janelle and Ajani, share another. Sasha and I have our own room. It's tight, but it works. It's funny how patterns emerge. In our unconventional family of six, we have two people born in March, two in October, and two in December. Sasha and Rebecca are both Libras, born in October. Kaylee and Ajani were born in December, with only Boxing Day separating their birthdays. And Janelle and my birthday are just 7 days apart in March. The shared spaces are the real test. We created a master calendar for chores. There's a chart on our fridge that would make a drill sergeant proud. That structure is what stops resentment from building and makes sure no one feels like they're carrying the whole load. Okay, let's talk about the big one: money. I've always given Rebecca money for our daughter, Kaylee, so there were never any formal child support payments to deal with. When Rebecca moved in, we kept things simple. There is no complex household budget or joint account. I handle all the household bills, the mortgage, utilities, everything. Rebecca contributes financially for her staying with us, which helps make it all work. It's a straightforward arrangement based on trust. For day-to-day things, we operate a bit differently because of difference in eating habits and cultural backgrounds. Rebecca and Kaylee are Americans, while my family and I are from St. Lucia. We do our own grocery shopping. Rebecca and Kaylee handle theirs, and Sasha and I handle ours. But there are certain food items either one of us will buy for everyone to eat. It just makes things simpler. This approach requires a lot of trust, but it works for us. That transparency is non negotiable. and builds a foundation of trust that makes this all possible. The most important piece of this entire puzzle was parenting. We now had Kaylee, Janelle, and Ajani all under one roof with three potential figures. It could have been a recipe for total chaos. So we made one core rule. We always present a united front to the kids. We never ever disagree about parenting in front of them. If one of us makes a call that the other don't like, we would talk about it privately later and figure it out for next time. And we absolutely do not use the kids as messengers. All communications about schedules or problems goes directly between the three adults. This keeps the kids from being stuck in the middle. Kaylee doesn't have to worry that loving her stepmom is a betrayal to her mom. Janelle and Ajani know they have another trusted adult in the house, in Rebecca. They just know they have three adults who love them and are on the same team. We even make a point to celebrate holidays and birthdays together to build that feeling of being one unified family. And now I know this might sound too good to be true, and we want to be honest. It wasn't a completely seamless transition. While we've been fortunate not to have arguments, merging three adult lives comes with its own set of challenges. It requires a huge adjustment for everyone. We were all tiptoeing around each other at first, learning new rhythms as a household of six. We had to learn to navigate our cultural differences and respect each other's habits and need for personal space. Sasha, in particular, has been incredible. Starting a new marriage is a special time, and suddenly inviting your partner's ex wife into your home is a situation that requires a level of grace and trust that is just breathtaking. We had to have many conversations, not about conflict, but about making sure her space and our relationship felt protected and prioritized. Then there's the outside world, explaining our life to other parents, to our families, to friends. It's been an exercise in patience. We get everything from looks of pity to straight up judgment. People just don't get it, and their assumptions can be hurtful. We have heard it all. That must be so hard for Sasha. Aren't you afraid you'll get back together? That's not fair to the kids. But ironically, all that judgment from the outside has actually brought us closer. It has created this us against the world feeling. Inside these four walls, we know our truth. We know why we are doing this. And having to defend our family to outsiders has only made the three of us a stronger team. This whole journey has taught us so much, and we know our story is pretty out there. But we also know so many of you are navigating your own complicated family situations. Every family has its own challenges and has to find its own ways to be successful. So, would love to hear from you. Share your own experiences in the comments. What's the biggest challenge you faced in your family, and how are you getting through it? Let's build a community here to support each other, because nobody should have to figure this stuff out alone. So, with all of that, why do we keep doing it? What makes all the hard stuff worth it? The answer is simple, and I see it every single day. It's Kaylee, Janelle, and Ajani. The real payoff, the aha moment, came a few months ago. I got home from work and walked into the living room. Sasha was helping Ajani with a school project. At the coffee table, Rebecca was sitting with Kaylee on the floor, admiring a new picture she had drawn, and Janelle was chiming in from the couch. They were just laughing, coexisting as sisters from two different cultures. There was no tension, no awkwardness. It was just a normal Tuesday night. It was family. Our children are thriving. Yes, Kaylee had to change schools, but it ended up being for the better. Her new school is within walking distance of our home, and she started to absolutely excel. She made the principal's list her first semester, and has been on it ever since. All three of our daughters are not being sheltered between homes anymore. They have all three of their caregivers under one roof, giving them this foundation of love and stability that is just unshakable. Their world is simple. They are loved and their family is whole, just in a different shape than most. I see the payoff in the little things. Rebecca and Sasha looking over Kaylee's latest drawing together, both of them just beaming with pride. Hearing the girls talk about mom, dad, and their other mom, Sasha, all in the same happy sentence. More love, more support, and a bigger safety net than we ever could have given them living apart. They are happier, more secure kids. And for a parent, there is no greater reward than that. So this is our new normal. It's unconventional, it's complicated, and it is definitely not for everyone. It takes a level of patience, communication, and boundary setting that can be completely draining. But for us, it works. We've learned that family isn't defined by a marriage certificate or a specific living arrangement. It's defined by love, commitment, and the willingness to do whatever it takes to give your kids a happy, supportive home. This life wasn't our first choice, but it has turned out to be our greatest blessing. It has given our children the gift of stable, loving home, and it has taught the three of us more about empathy, compromise, compassion, and love than we ever imagined. Our family might look different on the outside, but it's built on the exact same foundation as any other, wanting more than anything to see our children happy and whole. So if you like this video or you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And let me know, what would you like me to talk about? If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Miles to Marriage and Beyond. Thank you.